Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Debt Free Firefighter. My name is Chris. I'm on a journey to be debt free by 2033. Sorry about the background noise. I'm actually recording this on break at work, and not the firehouse, the construction site. So there's a lot of traffic going on. My backgrounds have been a bit different lately because I just haven't been home enough in the last couple of weeks where I've had time to record at home. When I'm home, I'm spending time with my wife, spending time with my kids. So we're officially about 1/3 of the way through 2026, and I needed to sit down and just update my debt snowball plan. So this one will be more of a listen instead of a look. There's really not much as far as changing images are concerned. I intend to, once I get back to my home studio, really get back more into the interaction. But just right now, this is just kind of how we're rolling. But I wanted to sit down and update my debt snowball plan, not because the goal changed, but because I just needed some clarity. Because I don't know, maybe like six weeks ago, the snowball just stopped rolling. And there's some reasons for that, and I'd like to share them because they may help you as well. I needed to really look at the numbers and see what's moving, see what's not moving, and figure out what the smartest attack plan is moving forward. And I think that's what needs to happen in a debt journey, a debt payoff journey, is you can't just set a plan in January of 2026 and expect that plan to be the exact same plan by the end of your journey. So my plan is every couple of months to sit down and see how I'm doing, get a reality check so I don't get discouraged. Because what could happen at the end of this year is I haven't even looked at anything. I get to the end of the year and I go, oh man, and then it just kills all my momentum for next year. So the first few months of this year have been a really big learning process. I started the year with this idea of, okay, get organized, build a plan, and I did. And I made videos on them to keep myself accountable. And the reality, though, is like this debt snowball plan, which I am using. I know there's different methods, but the debt snowball plan, it just makes sense in my head for me. But it's not just throwing money at debt randomly. It's about structure, and it's about momentum, and it's about understanding what debt is actually doing. So I've looked at my debt and I've seen what it's actually doing, and I've adjusted accordingly. And one of the biggest things I noticed when I started reviewing everything really week to week is that not all debts behave the same. Some balances move pretty steadily and some barely move at all. And the credit card especially, I mean, man, that thing just fights me every single month. I look at it and I think, I just paid $300. How come it's only moved $40? So you make payments and you feel like you should be making progress, and you look at the balance and you just realize, like, interest is eating a huge chunk of it. And that's what made me realize I need to adjust my plan a little bit and get this snowball rolling again. I've used up some of my emergency fund already this year. It happens, that's why it's there, but I'm almost down to zero emergency fund again. So I need to get that built back up. I had just a couple things pop up with vehicles, and that's kind of, you know, the story of my life. But I didn't use a credit card on them. I didn't add more debt onto my life as far as that's concerned. But we've got to update this snowball, because the snowball has stopped rolling. I don't know if it's ever happened to you. You're just going and you're good, momentum's there, and then boom, it stops. And really, when it stops, it's actually hard to get going again. Let me grab a sip of coffee and we'll keep on rolling on this, okay? All right, so the updated game plan moving forward. Right now, I've got about $200 to work with every month as far as my snowball's concerned. That's my starting point. And instead of just trying to spread that out everywhere, I'm going to focus on cleaning up the small debts first. Look at my video from last week and you'll see those small debts. My cell phone, the router, the water heater. The first targets are the router, water heater, phone. And those small debts free up payments quickly. And what it does is it's one less person or company or organization I'm paying out each month. If I don't have to pay the water heater company, that's one less person I'm paying. And every time one disappears, the snowball grows. So instead of just having an extra $200, now it becomes $300. And then after that, the focus becomes the credit card. And that's where I think the plan really starts working for me, is when that credit card really just gets taken care of. Because once the smaller balances are gone, I can throw like $600 a month at the credit card. And that's really what I needed to update everybody on. The goal isn't just pay debt. That's not the goal. If the goal is just pay debt, you don't need a plan. You just go in, you pay your bills. The goal is to build momentum, because when you start stacking payments, things accelerate fast. A $20 payment disappears. And then a $60 payment disappears. And then all of a sudden, those payments are attacking one thing together. And I think that's where a lot of people quit too early, because the beginning just feels slow. The first few months don't look dramatic at all, but they're the foundation. And that's where I've been living, in this world where nothing feels dramatic. It just feels like nothing has changed too much. And the snowball is just slowly rolling, or it just kind of stopped, and it needs a little bit of a nudge. Because it's very easy all of a sudden to look like you have freed up debt, freed up money, and not pay debt off with it. It's very easy to take that money and not put it in your budget properly. So the long game plan, the updated plan, it's not really a huge update as far as me sitting down and giving you all the numbers. I did that earlier in the year. I'll start next year by sitting down again and writing out all of these numbers. But the long game plan looks something like this. Clean up the small debts first, right? This is not a new thing for anybody who debt snowballs. Then aggressively attack the credit card, and then move everything into that personal loan, and then the van, and eventually roll all of that into the mortgage. So I have different phases I set up. If you recall from several months ago, I have different phases of this journey. Sorry, I can't talk and read at the same time. So what I'm looking at doing right now is this year, right? I'm going to kind of break it down in the next 3 months. By the end of July, I'm trying to go from 6 active debts to 3 active debts. $600 a month attacking one debt. Eliminate, don't manage. Those are my rules for this month. Focus on one target at a time, and no new debt. May through July is my launch phase. It's not flashy, but it sets everything up, right? So pay off the credit card, pay off the personal loan, pay off the van. That's later. Right now, the goal is cell phone. The goal is water heater. The goal is router. Get it done. Get it cleaned up. And then from there, we'll move on to credit card, personal loan, van, right? So we're kicking forward. We're building consistency. The goal is by August, I'll be paying $604 on the credit card. I'll be paying $318 on the personal loan still. I'll be paying $308 on the van, which is $1,230 a month in August. So I'll stay consistent. There's no changes. There's no distractions. September comes along. It's the same thing. I'm still stacking progress. $604 on the credit card. $318 on the personal loan, $308 on the van, paying off $1,230. So it's the same plan. I'm letting momentum build. The balance is now dropping because the small debts are paid off. October hits, the same plan, right? $1,230. And it starts to feel real because my progress is now visible. Because by then, I put $1,800 towards the credit card over August through October, and then the balance finally starts dropping faster, but I have to get there, and it's not there yet. The balance is not dropping fast, and that's what's killing my soul. So I need to just keep on kicking forward. The balance will finally start dropping. I'll finally get traction. The plan will start to work visibly. So August, up until August, it's going to feel slow. September is going to get a little bit steadier. October is real progress. So my only job between now and August is to pay off those small debts. And then my job from August to October is to make the same payments every month. Not overthinking, not changing my strategy, not adding new debt, because then what happens is by late 2027 at the latest, my credit card is gone. Then my snowball jumps to $900 a month, and that's when things go from working to accelerating. So these are not exciting months, and that's what's kicking my snowball to the curb, so to speak. I am just building discipline, and that's hard, because what's going to happen is the holidays are going to come, and the holiday strategy just has to be there so I don't derail, right? That's like the kicker for me. It's not derailing everything as the holidays come. So honestly, seeing it laid out this way as I wrote it down made me realize that debt freedom isn't going to happen because of one huge moment. Like, you know, I watch these TV shows and I see these people get like these financial windfalls of $250,000, and I think, oh, that would cure my life, right? But it's hundreds, literally hundreds of smaller, consistent decisions, because I am making 6 to 12 payments a month, times a year, times 7 years. These are hundreds of small, consistent decisions and payments. So the goal is still debt free by 2033. That has not changed. My roadmap is changing slightly, and I wanted to make the update mainly because of that, right? It's not like there's this dramatic shift, but I needed to get intentional again. And I'm excited about it because now it feels like these random payments aren't just random, it's an actual plan. So 1/3 of the way through 2026, we keep moving forward, because I am the Debt Free Firefighter, and I will see you in the next video.